keynote speaker for BAYS Youth and Families. We are discussing the me in community. So if you have ever been in a struggle of like trying to find your identity or trying to recapture who the heck you are in the midst of your family, your coworkers, your community environment, check this clip out.
Who are you within the community that you serve? Now, the community can be your home environment, community can be your workplace, community can be your church group. Wherever you find yourself within the midst of an environment, you are a collaborative member of that community. How you show up in that community also reflects the impact of that greater community. Let's take a moment to look over these, starting with your mental health, emotional health, physical health, behavioral health. Any of this stick out to anyone like that you've ever experienced, you're experiencing now? Anything? Look, ma'am, I thank you for being honest because there's some people in the room that have experienced the same thing, okay? Same. A little bit about me. Before I went into private practice, I was working in inpatient residential. I started off in crisis hospitalization, and then I moved into residential services. You know, if I don't take care of me, I'm not doing these people justice. And what I led to was the constant, chronic operation of trying to be superhero. That I didn't focus on my humanism. And it's not like, I wouldn't realize when I was getting a little tired, right? It's just obligations kept going, and things kept going, and life kept lifing, right? And so when we begin to dismiss our humanism, we're ultimately dismissing the obligations that comes with us. Because if you are not pouring into yourself, there is no way that you are pouring adequately in someone else. Now, hear me clearly. You can pour, okay? I come to work, I do my job, I did all right, bye. Did I do it adequately if I did not take time to pour into myself? Does that make sense? Yeah. All right, so let's just point out a couple of these, all right? And so I become a doer instead of a beer. You are a human being, not a human doer. Sit down somewhere. Because if we are not taking a moment to just sit and be and exist and acknowledge how am I feeling today? What's going on in my body? What's going on in my mind? Your growth can outpace you, and you're stuck in cycles that don't even serve you anymore because you haven't checked in with how am I the human being today? When you say you don't get to pour into yourself,
Don't get paid to do so.
don't get paid. Ooh, ouch! Okay. She said, you gotta hear her, let me tell you, because he hate me, okay? She said, because girl, did I tell you in my business? She said, I don't get paid to pour into my personal self, is what she said. Well, ma'am, since you know everything, okay. And this is the thing, I think we need to shift our narrative of what compensation is. Right? And again, I think that goes back to societal pressure. We're so focused on the income being the gain, the payment, that we're not really looking at, well, if I don't pay myself in just time, if I don't pay myself in things that I actually like to do, if I don't pay myself in hanging out with my friends outside of my coworkers, if I'm not paying myself in these ways, it could actually affect the pay. Because now I'm having to take off work because I am burnt out. Or I'm not doing my work well, so they may be saying goodbye to me soon. And so when we're looking at what does compensation look like, what does paying myself look like, it's the essence of fulfillment, not income. Make sense? All right, here we go. I look up y'all pride values, and I got to say this is some good stuff. Whoever created it, you did a fine job. Okay. Now, here's the thing. It's not good until you make it good, though. Because if my professional role under all of these values is indicative of one thing, I have a personal responsibility in order to implement the value. So we're gonna take our time to break these down, okay? Here we go. Let's start with professionalism. Okay, in order to do that, I have to have an awareness of my own personal values and self-accountability and commitment. If I don't follow my own rules, what makes you think I'm gonna follow yours? If I don't commit to my own promises, what makes you think I'm gonna continuously commit to yours? So accountability has to start with self-accountability so that I can be accountable to the community that I serve. Anybody have any questions or anything about this before we move on? Because I want y'all to get these because the people said y'all gotta do these things. I don't know, child. I don't know. It's a great question. But anyone have any questions? Concern? I think, Mom, you recording? Y'all say, hey, mama girl. Hey, mama. You recording the whole thing? Okay, I'll upload it on my YouTube. I'll let Christine know when it's uploaded. No problem. No questions? All right, Mr. Sir. That's it. I got it, so I did my part. All right, here we go. Art to heart mindfulness activity. We're gonna do an activity, and we're gonna connect what we have been discussing. This activity is called the me and community, all right? Here's the psychoeducation of what you're about to activate in your brain. The same part of your brain that allows you to be creative is the same part of your brain that stores trauma, negative thoughts, but it also activates neurons to your heart rate that says calm down. It's called the parasympathetic system, all right? So also what I do is I teach brain work on how we are applying these tools. You can't really work on long-term change if you don't really know how our brain work is working these things, right? Let's stay connected. Thank you so much for your time.
But that is a wrap. And I got my first standing ovation today, and you know, I am grateful that the people received something. That is important. Because talking is talking, but did you hear what I said? Like, did you comprehend what I said? That's